How about that 1500 metre final? Did you see it? The World Athletics Championships? Jeez, there's some amount of drama there. So there was no Ingebrigtsen. He didn't qualify. That's in the heats. Cole Harker, who won the Olympics last year, the 1500 metre final, he didn't qualify. So it was up for grabs. And plenty fell. So Andrew Coscoran finished 13th.
12th, I think.
First Irish athlete to reach the 1500 metre final at the World Athletics Championships since 2011. He was a bit disappointed with the race after, but how about the end of it? Isaac Nader, the Portuguese athlete, coming from nowhere, and the commentator made us feel aware, and was sure to make us feel aware, that this guy had basically no acumen and no business winning the 1500 metre World Athletics Championships repeatedly, and yet he came from nowhere, out of the blue. There's something about the 1500 metre final. It's fantastic, because do you sprint it? No. Do you jog it? No. It's all about timing and pace, and you have to. And Coscoran himself talked about that, about getting the timing wrong. And he was on about how much crowded it is. Like, people are in your way as you're trying to overtake them and whatnot. It feels like a hectic competition to be involved in.
It's like the thinking person's race, isn't it? Like, from a tactical point of view. We used to do a bit of 1500 cross country and 5k cross country when I was a whippersnapper. Very enjoyable stuff for somebody who's not particularly quick. But it was an exciting finish, and you couldn't tell who won. And they do this thing now, maybe it's a long runner thing, where they put up a box with a question mark in it for the positions that they haven't been able to assign, for which there was about 7 or 8 of them, I think, in that race originally before they got through it.
The drama started early when Josh Kerr limped. So we're talking one of the best in the world here, probably the favourite. And Coscoran and Sonia Sullivan was certainly talking about it after. Did you hear Sonia talk about Coscoran's performance?
I didn't hear her directly afterwards, no.
She felt that he was focused too much on Kerr and what Kerr was doing, because they were actually running the same level together before Kerr pulled up. And it looked like a nasty one in his Achilles. I was trying to see if he actually got tripped up or if it was an injury he picked up himself. But it was nasty nonetheless. He finished the race, fair play to him. But he looked in awful pain.
It was one of those where he didn't really need to finish it, but probably for, like he was last, obviously.
Yeah. Well, he did. He crossed the line and he got a round of applause for that. So he went from being like favourite before the race, he was giving it all this, right? There was a bit of presence to him. Had the sunglasses on, it was like, this guy is wearing the favourite tag at the end. And then the cruelty of the 1500 metres can make you feel very small when he's limping across the finish line. Minutes after being the man, people have sympathy for him and applaud him. He went from the ego to the human very quickly. That's the beauty of the 1500 metre. Isn't it?
Sure. I think I did disappeared stage left, to be honest. But
the Dutch boy, Laras, the 20-year-old, looked like he was going to win it at one point too. He's undefeated for the year in 2025. But your man comes from nowhere, Isaac Nader. Look, we'll talk about that with Eamon Coughlin lately.
You were very taken by this 1500.
Love it, yeah. I think I'm always taken by live sport happening midweek in the afternoon. There's something about that, personally speaking. But if it hasn't drawn you, that's fine.
Not really. I think the morning after a hugely dramatic Champions League game, I know where my head is at, Colm. I'm not going to lie.
I thought you enjoyed it at the time.
I loved it.
Not now, though.
Loved it. No, I do. I don't know what to say about it. I don't have an awful lot to say. Like,
can I say?
I don't think your man. I don't think he was a complete outsider. It's not like he came in off the track.
Was like nobody. That's the commentator was saying repeatedly. Who was this jabroni? It was like, this guy won a competition, and yet he's here.
Commentator kept getting Whiteman's name wrong, but anyway,
Whiteman has a fascinating story. He nearly gave it all up.
Yeah,
you know that he had a terrible. The guy who came second, the British guy.
Yeah.
He changed his lifestyle around completely. He moved from London to Manchester.
Oh, big move.
He was about to. I know it's funny because he was like, I really made a huge change. He was like left the continent. It was like, I just went up the road.
Yeah.
But turned his life around and came second, and he was beaten by 200th of a second by this Portuguese guy. Yeah, but the commentator gave him no hope. He came from nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to be my crystal ball for the year, but I was taken by it.
I was taken
to football. Don't worry.
I was taken yesterday morning in an instance that went largely unremarked upon.
Yeah.
Where I can't. What the hell were you talking about?
That's a good question.
I think it was to do with the athletics, possibly, and no, it was to do with the rugby World Cup. And Vinny asked a question, and you didn't have an answer for him. And Vinny leaned back in his seat and he said, "Interesting question." And you said, "Is it?" As you laughed in his face.
There was a lot of self-praise in the show yesterday, actually. Did you hear Stacey Flood?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
We're so likeable.
Yeah.
But it was such an endearing way. And it's the same with Vinny. Exactly the same.
There's a confidence there.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I suppose it is. I suppose it is, yeah. Plenty of stuff in the backstage sketch. We'll get to the football, don't worry. Adrian, people are getting very annoyed that we're talking about Manchester United every day. Very annoyed.
So we should talk about Liverpool.
But look, it's back of the Irish Independent. Back of the Irish Independent. After that feast of football last night and 1500 metre final, it's still Manchester United in the back. Well, this isn't necessarily an editorial choice. I'm just telling you right now. This is all to do with the figures. So this is what we'll be talking about. A lot of our conversation here with Stephen Borson just after 8 o'clock this morning. But basically, they made a whole load of money and they also lost a bit of money. But they made more money than you think. They've cut their staff from 1,100 to 700. Let's get to the football itself. So Liverpool 3, Atletico Madrid 2. Plain sailing after 6 minutes, 2-0 up. Could have been any score. Alexander Isak had a few touches on his debut. Nearly stopped 2 goals, particularly the second of the nearly assist to Florian Wirtz. Would have been one of the goals of the early season. And had a shot himself from outside the box. Looked tasty enough. But Llorente was the boy, I think, in that infamous COVID game that we referenced yesterday. I think he scored that game 5.5 years ago. Llorente loves Anfield. Salah hits the post in the second half. Side of the post. Shot 2-1. They got it back to 2-2. Second goal is a deflection, I think, to volley from Llorente. Llorente's second, but it's the lovely goal. How was the first goal allowed?
It shouldn't have been.
Griezmann was absolutely in the.
But the fact that there wasn't a 10-minute review about it, I felt.
You enjoyed that, did you?
No, I felt that there probably should have been. You know, like it felt a goal where actually it would have been maybe legitimate to rule it off. Is there a difference between not being able to see it and not being able to save it? Was the only thing I was thinking about afterwards. Do you get me? Like, I'm not sure even if he saw it, he could have saved it.
I just wonder what the justification for allowing it was.
That the player wasn't. Who was it again?
Griezmann.
Griezmann. That he wasn't interfering with play.
Griezmann body language suggesting himself his eyes probably in the goalkeeper's eye line there. And the commentators were. Andy McCoy was certainly confident it was going to be disallowed. But anyway, he made it a hell of a game because that was 2-1. 2-2 in the second half. And then Virgil does the business in injury time.
And does his celebration and nod to his daughter. I always find it weird. His daughter, apparently, it's his daughter's celebration, so he repeats it. It's a bit of a strange one.
Well, his daughter
she'd stop doing it. Well, I don't know. Maybe they're playing football at the back and she's like rubbing it into. Listen, you might be one of the world's best centre halves, but not in this backyard, buddy. What would your celebration be if you were?
That's a great segue. Great question. Let us know. What would your celebration be?
What would yours be?
Explain to us in voice.
You've definitely thought about this. You definitely had a celebration
180
when you were an average soccer player.
Jesus.
Wow.
Well, you obviously weren't you weren't very good if you know.
It's all relative. I mean,
go through the levels.
We'll leave it there.
What was your celebration? Come on, there was definitely something, and you would have thought about this a lot.
No, you've lost me now because of the average thing. I'm not going to give.
There's no point in asking Arthur. Arthur would not entertain this. Arthur would be head down and
back. Start the second half. Start again, lads.
Yeah, let's go again.
I was laughing at Cole Palmer still doing a celebration despite scoring a consolation goal and coming back and running back doing it while everyone else is focused because he has to do it. Yeah. He has to do it now. I think a player having a celebration seems to be increasingly rare.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was more of a thing like 20 years ago. People had celebrations. Robbie for a while stopped doing the cartwheel.
Right, because he thought he was getting too. He had said at the time he thought it was a bit too big time or something.
Didn't he do? He did a curtailed version of it. I think he did the cartwheel or the tumble over.
Do the bow and arrow. Remember at the end? Did he take the bow and arrow?
Oh, he might have taken the bow and arrow. No, he went like he did a little finger gun up to the air so no one get hurt.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Andy van der Meijden, do you remember him?
Oh yeah.
Ajax Inter was on last night. Another Van der Meijden derby. Yeah. He scored for Inter at Highbury, and he did the shooting the fans.
Okay.
Which players have taken on since then. I know you can always take that. I mean, something else, but I think he's shooting in good faith.
Llorente goes for the golf celebration. Massive.
Who did he take that
big
after?
Golfer.
Carlos Alcaraz, the US Open. Every time Carlos Alcaraz won a match, he would do a golf swing in celebration.
Well, I'm not sure he's.
I don't think he came up with that.
No,
he didn't come up with that.
He did. He's the first person I've ever seen do that.
Llorente is a big golfer.
Is he? Yeah.
Actually, because I went looking for it last night to see what was going on.
What is
I went down a small bit of a rabbit hole.
Celebration.
Is he or is he not related to Fernando Llorente?
The former Swansea striker.
He might have played for other more high-profile clubs, but yeah.
No, he did it. Don't be.
Drive by left, right, and centre.
Oh yeah, don't be. What's wrong with Swansea?
No, go on.
Alan Sheehan Swansea, who had a great win last night, by the way.
Yeah.
They were 2-0 down to Nottingham Forest in the League Cup. Forest scored a third goal that was disallowed. Swansea won the game 3-2. Adrian
in added time.
So take that back about Swansea City. Fernando Llorente is no relation.
Yeah, well, he played for Juve.
Well, Llorente
Spurs.
could be a common name. It could be like Murphy over there.
No, they're no relation.
Also
but
World Cup winner.
Marcus Llorente's granduncle and his grandfather both played for Real Madrid.
Okay.
Just thought that was an interesting tidbit. Like, it's not going to change your morning, no more than our earlier conversation about the Athletics. But
Well, what do you want to talk about?
on your top 10, and we talk about Liverpool. Like, what
Jesus.
what a time to be alive if you're a Liverpool fan. Like, it's just incredible what they're doing, and the confidence that must be flowing.
Incredible in what way?
Incredible in the sense that they're never. I was going to say
Never
they're never
beaten, are they?
beaten.
Never
They're
beaten.
never drawing, right? Like, or they're never drawing because most of the
Yeah.
So there's 2-2 v Bournemouth after 87 minutes and they win 4-2. 2-2 v Newcastle after 99 minutes and they win 3-2. The Rio and Gamoa winner. 0-0 against Arsenal after 82 minutes. Szoboszlai scores and they win 1-0. 0-0 at Burnley on Sunday after 94 minutes and then that Salah penalty 1-0. And then 2-2 after 91 minutes last night. And the giant forehead of Virgil van Dijk pops up and under an awful lot of pressure. The jersey was basically been pulled off him. It was kind of incredible.
Why did you describe his forehead like that?
Well, he's got a big forehead. What can you say?
Do you regard that as a positive?
Ultimately, I don't think there's any other way to look at it. I understand the point about, like, they were 2-0 up and they were cruising and you kind of thought,
They've done that 3 times now.
5 or 6. Well, some of them were obviously the 0-0 at Arsenal at Burnley.
No, but they've been 2 up
With
3
the other
times
games, yeah.
and given it away.
That is definitely one aspect to it, and I was
Any chance
interested
to
in.
win comfortably, no?
Huh?
Any
Yeah.
chance to
Well, I
win
was interested in
comfortably?
Virgil van Dijk was asked after the game last night. A version of this question about how concerned he was by concession of another 2 goals, and he was kind of stood there like this to begin with, like his body language and his body language and what he was saying were kind of at odds with each other. But he was stood there like this. Are you concerned about this? No. Followed by a long pause, forcing the interviewer to jump back in and have to try and rescue stuff. But I think net result, Arthur, has to be a positive. I don't think there's any other way to look at it. I think that, like, the context, particularly as to what's going on at Liverpool with the number of players that have come in, obviously the emotional roller coasters that have been on over the last couple of months, like, you kind of forget that it's Arne Slot's second season only. I think that you would expect this not to be smooth and for them to be winning unbelievably dramatically while it's not smooth is a positive.
I don't know. I don't know. And I genuinely don't know. It's a lot of emotion to be expounding in September and going to the well an awful lot of times very, very
You
early.
cannot get excited by September.
No, you can, but like it's just a case of like if you're giving me the option, even though
That's a
they
good
bet
question.
them, I'd rather be in Arsenal's position than Liverpool's.
Yeah, it's fair
Like
enough.
the idea of playing 5 games, conceding 1 goal from a set piece.
Yeah.
And winning all but that 1 game, which to be fair, but
Yeah.
that
Now,
game
you would
was
say
in effect a draw.
The massively deflected goal was pretty fortunate. Kanate obviously was, lambasted, probably fair enough to say, over the opening weeks while the window was still open and seems to have settled down a bit. Like, it's hard to actually know when you look at it where's the blame for this, other than just maybe a team starting to settle together. I think if you're a Liverpool fan, what you're thinking is, we're not playing perfectly, we're not playing bad, we're squeezing through these games. The belief must be coursing through them when it ticks into injury time now that, like, no matter what's going on, we can score here. And then also the other point being that, like, this will come right after a month or 2 months when things, start to gel together a little bit better. That has to
Possibly.
be the belief. I'm sure that's internally as well.
I think they probably believe that, but I think I don't think it. I'd wonder how sustainable it is to have to be that geared up for what's often 95 plus minutes every single game so far.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing that.
Well, I think part of the problem with going 2-0 up and then losing it is that the geared up has been geared down a bit, obviously.
But like it's just it's an interesting thing because you factor in how the season keeps going and players will drop off. Like, as much as they're blending players in, they have more or less a full thing to pick from at the minute. So when that starts dropping off, which inevitably will,
Yeah.
that it becomes, I don't know, or they just click in on their class and it's like, this is just kind of, they're actually getting points here where they should be losing them. But the fact of the matter is, last year wasn't like that.
No.
Last year they started incredibly well again, and kind of whatever happened against PSG, lose to Plymouth, lose the Carabao Cup to Newcastle, there was a little bits of dips thereafter where you'd think, you should have won that. You were far. They should have beaten PSG that over that 2 legs.
Yeah, oh yeah, great. That was the game of the season.
That's the only thing I don't know. I don't know about it.
But I just think with the change, I think some of that is kind of understandable. Like, it will come right for them.
What do you mean, average footballer?
Who? You. you haven't told us your celebration
tell me
yet.
this now. I've been asking this question on an ongoing basis, but would you have Liverpool or Arsenal squad?
I think when you look at my answer here is Liverpool. Primarily,
Because they played last night.
Probably. When you look at the substitutions on, was it like 58 minutes, whatever it was? What?
Okay.
So Bradley, Ekitike, and remind me who else came in off the bench.
Yeah, work away. I'll get that for you.
They're impressive. There's a depth there. I'll tell you now exactly who it was. So I'll go Isaac, Frimpong, and Gakpo, right? And in come McAllister, Bradley, and Ekitike.
Yeah, unbelievable.
You know, now listen, Ekitike has a little bit of the old Darwins about him, and hopefully, I suppose, from a Liverpool point of view, that they'll be hoping that will settle down. Like he missed his sitter at the end last night. He could have had a hat trick. In fact,
what you call it?
A bit of the Darwins about him.
Oh, sorry, I think you said the old darlings. I thought that was a phrase. Right.
Could have a bit of that too. But yeah, like I mean, misses a sitter last night. I saw in the analysis afterwards, Rich Sadler was very kind to him, saying that the ball could have been better. And Richie Sadler knows an awful lot more about that than I do, but I thought it was a pretty good, decent ball. He was saying it could have been a flatter trajectory, but he also had that header at the back post. Remember, Salah gets through, finds himself at the end line, has very little to do, but manages to dink out a beautiful ball to the back post, and Ekitike is there, and he makes a bit of a dog's dinner of it. And he had another chance, decent, very good chance as well, that he kind of blasts over the bar. So, like, that's damning him with no praise there by making that comparison. But my point being that is an awful lot of quality. McAllister, Bradley, and Ekitike to bring off the bench.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go.
Just a word on the opposition last night. What the hell is it about Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid that you never really truly beat them, but they are regularly beaten at the same time? So like they're 2-0 down after no time. Liverpool create a bundle of other opportunities, but you never really truly feel that they're going to be out of a game. What is it about them? And you know, even the style of football that they play, you wouldn't say it's necessarily too exciting, but there's something so appealing about both the team and the manager.
The reflection of their manager.
The winner, when Van Dijk gets the winner, Simeone's getting stuck into the crowd and gets sent off. But when he walks down the tunnel, there's not even that many Liverpool fans jeering him or cajoling him. They're kind of just looking at him with a kind of zoo-like intrigue and respect towards this guy. I don't know. I just have a massive soft spot for Atletico. He's been there an awfully long time,
and for him,
and he still seems to get something from him. I'm not sure if he's having a pint territory with, but there is something fascinating about.
Awful company.
Do you think so?
I think that was pathetic yesterday. Like it was it the first minute of added time of 4 minutes, whatever it was? I think there might have been 2 minutes on the clock left, and obviously, you know, the referee being kind, you're probably going to get that time back. But like creating this palaver on the sideline, reacting to a fan.
Yeah, but that place where you are in Anfield, it's so tight. You're probably getting dogs abuse that whole game.
Probably, but get the hell out of there. Like, what's he doing getting involved with a fan, Arthur? Just don't do it. Like,
it depends what was said. Like, so that's the way I look at it. It does depend what was said. Like, if I have no problem with people reacting if there's something worth reacting to.
No words in the English language that would cause a reaction for you, is it?
I don't know. You couldn't say that, and I do get the heightened emotion aspect to it. It's at a time we've come from 2-0 down. I think we're going to get something out of this game, but I also think let's put the character that Diego Simeone is in the middle of it. You know, there aren't a whole pile of other managers you could point to that get drawn into that. Like, it was unseemly. Like, I mean, he himself several times had to be dragged away from it.
Yeah, he came back for a bite 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. That was pathetic for me. I just get out of there, you know.
He
apart from anything else, sorry, you're taking. He should be out on the edge of the area, going, "We've 2 minutes left. Here's what we're going to do."
Yeah,
and he's in here having one.
If you're looking across him at that point, that did strike me last night watching it. If you're looking across, if you're Llorente and the boys looking across last night, you're like, our manager's gone, the head's gone.
The head's gone.
But I mean, I suppose he's been there a long time. He knows the game was done at that stage, and he's furious for it. But there was the last World Cup, the Winter World Cup in Qatar. Graham Hunter talked about that. We'll have Graham Hunter on the show tomorrow. He was talking about how he had lost his pizzazz at that point, Simeone, and they were going to fire him, but he turned around. He turned around, hit the energy, the Finn pizzazz, and they gave him a new contract.
They have a wee bit like they're not what they were by any stretch.
Yeah, what were they? Mid 2010s.
Kind of, like where they were kind of challenging for titles and stuff like that. That's kind of
I feel
kind of gone.
Like even the way they won the league in 2014, they won the league, and then a week later they lose to Real Madrid in the Champions League finals. They never really actually and celebrated. They lose the final again 2 years later to the same opposition. They won the league about 4 years ago.
Won it
wasn't it?
after, yeah.
And there's something
With
about
Suarez.
it. Elsewhere in the Champions League last night, in case you missed this, right? My boys, Pafos. What a result here, Adrian. They drew 0-0 away to arch neighbours, rivals Olympiacos.
Arch neighbours.
Bruno Felipe was sent off for Pafos after 25 minutes. Do you know who plays centre half for them, Adrian?
I don't.
David Luiz. David Luiz plays centre back with Pafos. Tiny little place in Cyprus.
Do you keep calling them Pafos?
Pafos, Pafos.
Okay. I thought you were like had affected an English accent there for some reason.
Well, there's a lot of English people there.
Right.
Was there in the great
this
summer
is where
of
the young boys-
2023. What an island. What a place, right? This is it's tiny. I can't emphasise how tiny this is. This
Have
would
we
be
got any
like
Marty in the Morning music?
this would be like
roll in?
if Westmeath got to the Champions League. Proper.
What does that mean, Westmeath?
Tiny.
At Lone Town, like.
Tiny. Yeah. We were saying this
It's
the other
not
day.
the same as
We
that
were
at all.
saying
Not
this
if they've David Luiz
it's
playing.
well, don't rule it out at Lone Town. New
What's he-
owners.
he's
David
not-
Luiz. He's 38, in case you're asking.
Curious about that, all right.
He had 2 spells at Chelsea, spell at Arsenal, spell at Paris Saint-Germain, and now Pafos, and helped him to a 0-0 draw. But he actually got hooked when the player got sent off, David Luiz. I thought
Take off your weak link.
I'd be more interested in
That's
them.
generally what happens. Take off your weakest player.
Elsewhere, the hipster derbies were on early yesterday. So that was 0-0. It was 2-2 between Slavia Prague and Bodo Glimt, Adrian.
I was wondering about that one, all right.
Yeah.
sir.
Then in the Van der
Curious
Meide derby, Ajax 0, Inter 2. Marcus Thuram, Lillian's young fella, on it again, scored a brace for himself, helped himself out. Paris Saint-Germain 4, Atalanta 0. Do you know who manages Atalanta, lads?
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's your man, isn't it? The fellow who was at Southampton.
Huh? Fail upwards, says you. The guy who was at Southampton last year, Jovic, Croatian guy, he's Atlanta's manager now. Can you credit that?
Curious about that, yeah.
3 minutes into the... He doesn't want to do... Doesn't want to be here. 3 minutes into the game, Marquinhos scores. Kvaratskhelia scores a beautiful wonder goal in the 39th minute. Highly recommend watching it back. Beautiful goal. Liverpool 3, Atletico 2, and then Bayern 3, Chelsea 1. A brace from Hazard Kane. Second of which was very nice. Thierry Henry-esque curler into the far corner. Enzo Maresca's first ever game in the Champions League as manager. Same with Thomas Frank the night before.
Assisted by Gusto from Chelsea, that last goal. See that? Lovely through ball.
Oh, you're being facetious.
Well, slightly. It was a back
Great
pass.
gusto, he helped out the
Back
opposition.
pass gone wrong.
Right.
Second goal was a penalty, and the first goal was a Chabala OG. So they kind of gifted it, in fairness to them. Like
In many ways. Well, that's why Cole Palmer was speechless when asked on TNT Sports afterwards about what happened in the second half, and he considered it for a brief moment before saying, I don't know, to be honest. Yes.
he did get it back to 3-2. Old Cole Palmer.
He did. It was disallowed.
It was.
Yeah. Disallowed goal. And like I said there in the League Cup last night, fierce drama here for Alan Sheehan's Swansea, Adrian, who were 2-0 down at home to
Ange Postecoglou.
Nottingham Forest. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. And they had a third disallowed for us before Swansea went ahead and won the game in the end, 3-2.
So your club is owned by a Russian billionaire.
Oh, is it?
The little old
Do you know,
Pafos.
that's interesting you say that actually, because there was a load of Russian people there now that you say it. Now that you say it, there was a
Now
load
that
of
you
Russian.
mention it,
That
that
was a load
Yahweh
of-
was on.
Here, will you go off Mike Moore there?
He was involved with Portsmouth when they went absolutely kaput in 2011.
Pompey.
Yeah.
Don't do it to Pafos.
Roman
You did the
Doboff.
Pompey, don't do it to Pafos. I highly recommend you going to Pafos.
Oh, well,
Do you want to go?
I'm all right, thanks. Thanks for offering. All expenses.
We'll do something over there. You, me,
Like a
David
show?
Luiz.
A show.
Should we go for that?
That's good enough for a podcast.
A show.
You, me, and David Luiz.
Show's a bit vague, right, for the old SEO. Yeah, we could do that. Let's think about it. Have a think about that now for yourself.
Show is not right for the SEO.
Now, tonight, do you want a bit of hipster fixture?
Sure.
They're doing the hipster fixtures at 5:45. I like this. Copenhagen against Bayer Leverkusen. Adrian.
Yeah?
And Club Brugge against Monaco. Do you know who plays for Monaco, among others?
No, but I know you're going to tell me.
Eric Dyer.
Yeah?
Did you know that?
Don't think I did know that, no.
There you go, yeah. We'll have Philippe Auclair on imminently. Then there are 4 8 o'clock games. So you have Eintracht Frankfurt against Galatasaray. Do you know who plays for Galatasaray? Ilkay Gundogan.
Oh, yeah.
Ilkay Gundogan, Arthur.
Yep. I know he left there in the last few weeks.
Surprised with that now myself. I don't know who played for Inter last night. Centre
He went
half.
back and then he.
What do you mean? You know who? Like there's probably like 15 guys played.
Manuel
Like,
Akanji. That's the bit. Manuel Akanji.
Yeah.
Rich get richer. Sporting against Karat Almighty. The lads who beat Celtic. That's on tonight as well.
They're not. It's Almaty.
Yeah.
Is that you having a?
Yeah. And then Kevin De Bruyne is back at the Etihad as Napoli visit Manchester City. Do you know Gianluigi Donnarumma is from Naples?
I didn't know
Be a big
that.
game, yeah. His mother's a big Napoli fan, he said, so she'll be in a conundrum tonight about who to support. But the box office game for me tonight, lads, is at St James's Park. Newcastle United against Barcelona. It's back to 1997.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually in the papers this morning. There's a great piece with Keith Gillespie, who had a cracking game that night. Remember Keith Gillespie? Of course, former Northern Ireland international. Set up 2 of Aspria's 3 goals that night. And when we talked about the celebrations earlier on the show, I took a cursory glance at the comments, and all I saw back was Aspria. Do you remember his celebration?
Yeah, the overhead.
Similar to Robbie, but slower.
Yeah.
Slower.
More graceful.
Yeah, people weren't having the Robbie Keane celebration. I think you're just connecting it to them, you know what I mean?
no, there's not. Like yeah, we've talked about this before. I wasn't here.
What do we?
I don't like it.
You don't like?
No,
You don't like which?
the celebration.
Which celebration?
That one.
Robbie's. Right. Why?
There's a certain amount of ego attached to it.
Yeah.
Who's not an egotistical person doing a celebration?
Well, the striker, I suppose. It's like
it's not just that. There's a singularity to it.
I think there's a youthful energy to the celebration, so it ages poorly after the age of 25.
I also think there was a phase of like over exuberant physical celebrations. Do you know, like what I can show people my physical prowess by doing something there. Whereas now it's much more about like little messages, you know.
When Cole Palmer plays the charity games in 30 years' time, he'll still be doing it. Because there's no real effort to it. Eidur Goody Janssen. Do you remember Eidur Goody Janssens?
No.
He used to just do that. And it suited him.
Damien Duff did that, of course, in Japan, South Korea.
Well, he did a bow first and then
a bit of that.
No, but Eidur Goody Janssen was just take it or leave it, lads. Hopefully take it. Now, the question is, will Benfica take Jose Mourinho? Because he is in line for a return to management simply weeks after leaving
Segue.
Fenerbahce. Back to where it all started, Adrian.
Yeah.
You know that was his first job in
He
management?
was there for about 2 months.
Yeah, really very brief tenure. Now, it's good news for anyone who wants Ruben Amorim to stay at Manchester United. Presumably, a lot of opposition fans there, of course, because he was heavily linked to the return. I think Amorim's a Benfica boy. I think Benfica are his club.
Yeah, that's where he played for. Yeah.
But he also supports them. So
That was pure. I think that was just pure talk from a man who's running for election. Like that seems to happen all the time.
Possibly, yeah.
Obviously, the bigger thing there. You see it like, remember the great Figo, the Figo documentary.
Yeah.
And the big thing with Perez coming in, like you all float out the ideas that you have and what you want to do, and that's kind of. Yeah. But I don't know if there was any substance to that. Like, there's no way Benfica were paying for Ruben Amorim to break his contract at Man United.
There's no way Benfica were playing. Oh yeah, possibly, yeah. True, because it would cost them like £12 million.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about Mourinho, we were just chatting about him the other day, Adrian, right? Did any manager, I can't think of many managers who reached the pinnacle and were so clearly the best manager around by summer 2010. So that's when he won the Champions League for the second time with Inter. That's when they beat Bayern at the Bernabeu.
Pep was already on top then.
Pep was early. It's early days, Pep.
Pep had already done it.
Pep won it once, but this guy won it twice with two different teams.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone was at that time. People were already saying Pep was ahead.
Oh no, Pep was coming up, but Jesus,
he was already ahead.
Here, hold on now. Mourinho, come on now. That's semantics. Mourinho won the Champions League with Porto. When the UEFA Cup the year before that, came in with Chelsea, who were getting next darn year to the Premier League title, won it back to back.
Then went to Inter. You can't just say won it back to back. Like there's very
and
clear
then won the
reasons for
Champions
that.
League with Inter, who have not won it since.
Sorry.
Well, not won it before.
There's a good bit of revisionist history gone in there. You can't just come in and say Chelsea.
That's a fact file, man. That's his Wikipedia.
Okay, but then so Roberto Mancini as well for winning it with City. We're just going to strip away the context.
What Champions League did Mancini win?
No, I'm talking about the Premier League. You're saying they hadn't won the league yet. There's a reason they won the league. There's a very clear.
Claudio Ranieri didn't win the league with them with money.
I think they finished second.
Didn't win it.
Okay, but my point is, you're saying
where is this
it's
going?
just nonsense.
This is not meant to. Well, this conversation was not meant to go that way.
I thought you had a question here, though.
Yes.
I did have a question. If he had walked away in 2010 from management, we'd be talking about one of the greats. And yet 15 years later, despite the fact that he's won stuff with other clubs, like at Real Madrid, he actually did all right with Real Madrid domestically, But he didn't win the Champions League. He didn't get to a final, not the semi-final.
underperformed.
Yeah, but the same
Once
thing
off with United,
that made him great is
once
the
off
same.
at Chelsea second time around, won the Premier League with Chelsea second time around.
It's the same reason that he's hanging on now for like any owl club that'll sort of have him.
But that is a salient point. That's exactly what I want to get into, right? Is that there is a kind of like desperation of I want one more shot at the limelight and I'm going to take job after job. I felt at that point in 2010 with Mourinho that he might take one or two other jobs and walk away from management and be like, well, I'm not going to just manage anyone. But it feels right now he's kind of want to manage anyone. Anyone who wants me, anyone who's going to tell me that I'm the best. Because I remember his unveiling press conference at Fenerbahce, he was like, you are my family now. And the crowd went mental. And it was like, they're going to adore me because I'm the best thing to happen to this club. Then he gets sacked. And at Benfica, it'll be, he's going to tailor this as his homecoming finally. 25 years after initially joining, I'm back to do it properly this time. And he'll be adored briefly. And that's what he's chasing constantly, is that one last bit of unadulterated adoration.
I wonder if that's him in the quiet moments as well. Do you know? Like you see him there was clips of him in the airport after the Fenerbahce sacking. And, because all you ever see of Jose Mourinho is that fiery character. Like, he's not quite Diego Simeone. Maybe he was at a certain point in time. But, there's this fiery character who bristles at anything, to sort of protect his own brand and has an ego the size of a warehouse. But I just wonder, in his quiet moments, I'm not sure that's.
I lost interest in Mourinho a few years ago, but I'm getting interested in him again in this phase of his career because I just wonder what does he want from all of this.
What age is he?
Money.
62.
Like the money.
He's still a very young man, really, when you think about it. Like, there's an awful lot of managers who.
See, he had no playing career, so he was straight into it, Like he managed Benfica first time round as a very, very young man.
I don't think he needs the money.
Loads and loads of money he's getting for all these different jobs.
How much is he making from Benfica? What would you say?
Like how much he's making is not how much thing before him has been making, if you know what I mean.
But like he's making a couple of mil probably. What's he making a year like?
I don't know, but God knows what other it'll be significant for him.
So
you're going to pay. I don't know what to go and rate.
He would make that money on some sort of a world tour of. He'd make that easy.
He would,
he'd be getting paid.
Or some media company would pay him to be that Roy
Why do you
Keane.
think they're mutually exclusive?
Well, because I don't think you can go on the circuit when you're managing a football
I
club.
think he absolutely can. This is the problem with where he is now. He is bigger than the club.
Yeah. Does he not want the buzz of the ego? That's what he wants. That's ultimately what he's chasing, isn't it?
When
he wants to feel important.
So if you want to feel important, walk into a room where everyone's paid to see you and give a speech for an hour. But I mean, give a speech for an hour. There's a lot less risk. I think this what he does here.
That's not big enough for him. He's not on camera.
When Snapdragon, the famous processing company,
you were telling us about that,
are saying, "Listen, Jose, we need you on Tuesday afternoon in New York." He's not saying, "Oh, listen, lads, I'll be back on Wednesday." I'm saying like he could make an awful lot more money. He's not.
What do you mean?
He's
ego,
no
man,
chance
ego.
he's doing that.
Yeah,
like listen,
why? Because he's such a professional.
But he managed Saudi Arabia. Then if
maybe his name is so big that he can say, "Listen, we're playing Saturday. I'll be out Sunday, and we'll do it that way."
But it's Benfica. They're not joke. Like
all I'm saying is he doesn't A, need the money, and B, I believe he could make more money by not doing that.
A and 2. It's a nice segue.
I do stand by it, by the way.
To money conversation. You watched all the President's Men again?
Pep had already been up above.
You watched all the President's Men again?
We're out of time.
I know, but you did though.
I did, yeah.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
That's great.
Unbelievable. Ben Bradley, i.e. Jason Robards. I'd say he's on screen for about 15 minutes. Get himself a nice tasty Oscar for it.